Thanks for joining us today on Ohio Classics. I'm your host, Laurel Quillen. We're here at the Strasburg Corn Fest, and I am standing next to Fred Caldwell. It's nice to finally catch up with you, Fred.
Well, same. I'm glad you did.
You're a hard guy to track down sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Like to go to the car shows, though. Do a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, and obviously you're here at the car show with your vehicle. Tell us about your car.
It's a 1969 Olds Cutlass S. Now, the S stands for, we found out they were special built. The motor's offset on them, and they're 200 pounds lighter than the regular Cutlass or the 442. Now, why, I don't have a clue, but that's what we found out.
If you know why, you can email us and tell us.
But 2 years ago, I had to buy new headers for it. I went through 3 pair before I found one that worked.
Oh, my.
My son and I went to Summit. Oh, yeah, here they are. So we brought them home, and the motor wouldn't set down. I thought, that ain't no good. So we turned around, went back to Akron, and we had an old guy in there come back, and he said, well, what's the matter? I said, they won't work. I said, my motor won't set down. And he said, well, what kind you got? I said, it's a 1969 Olds Cutlass S. I said, it's the old F85. Well, let me look in the book. And he said, we got a pair. And he said, the bad news is, he said, they're $50 more than what you, I said, oh, I don't. But he said, since they was too lazy to look them up, he says, I'll let you have them for the same price since it's your second trip today. I said, oh, thank you.
Well, that's a nice break. Generally, do you have trouble otherwise finding parts?
Sometimes, for this one.
Yeah.
And they are expensive. D&M done the body work on it and repainted it and everything for me a couple years ago, and I had one bad fender, and there's a guy down by Caldwell, Ohio. He has all kinds of them, and he said, yeah, I got one down here. He said it's got some rust on it, got a couple holes, and he said they're about $500 a piece. I said, no way. So they ordered new patch panels, half the fenders, and put them on.
Well, it's in beautiful shape. You've obviously taken very good care of it and or done a whole lot of work to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to these cars. People don't understand when you go to the car shows and things, people spend a lot of money. You take 2 or 3 shows a week at $10 or something like that, then the gas getting here, all the time you work and clean them, there's a lot of work in it.
It all adds up. Well, we appreciate seeing you here, Fred. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us today on Ohio Classics with more from the Strasburg Corn Fest coming up.
Hi, this is Heather, the Garden Girl, and I am so excited to be able to announce to you guys, the viewers, that I have now opened the Garden Girl shop. Well, where are you going to find me at? It's real easy. I'm located at 1881 7 Mile Drive, tucked in behind the Point Cafe. So come visit me Wednesday through Fridays from 10 to 6, Saturdays from 10 to 4, Sundays from 11 to 3. However, if you see the big garage door up, that means I'm here and you are always more than welcome to stop in. Also, don't forget my priority is educating you guys, so stay tuned for all my make and take workshops where you can come in, learn, get your hands dirty, and head home with your very own projects. Can't wait to see you.
I think the hands-on aspect is going to give you an opportunity to explore, find out what you're good at, what you like, and you're not going to have mountains of debt. What you're going to have is a marketable skill that even if you don't love it, you can use that to pay to go on to college and get that degree. And we've got a number of students that do that. They're very mature. I think we're a great hands-on exploration base.
Thanks for joining us today on Ohio Classics. I'm Laurel Quillen. We've been having some fun today at the Strasburg Corn Fest, and joining me right now is Bill Allishouse. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for agreeing to talk with us for a little while.
You're very welcome.
Because I know a lot of people are asking you questions, so I'm glad that I get to be one of them. And that way, everyone can know a little bit more about this vehicle behind us.
Okay, well, it's titled as a 73 GMC pickup, but it's all hand-built body.
With question marks.
Yeah. But yeah, it's got Blazer chassis, Chevy power plant, engine tranny. Everything else is pretty much hand-built. The window frame, the body, everything's hand-built.
Now, did this come into your life this way, or is this something you built?
It's something I built. My granddaughter, oldest granddaughter, which is she'll be a junior, she wanted to learn mechanics. That's how it started. We started on the chassis, and sports kind of got in the way, so I've been tinkering with it now the last 3 years by myself pretty much, and my 6-year-old granddaughter helped me build the bed, so they've both been involved in it to a degree.
Well, our viewers know sometimes it takes a few years, maybe even decades, to get that car to come together.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's the fun of it when it actually does come out of the garage, so it's nice to be out on the road with it.
And I like to hear that the kids, the grandkids are getting involved and learning.
Oh, absolutely.
Instead of Pokemon Go, they're going and fetching things and for the car and putting it all together.
Right. They enjoy it, and they're always ready to get in. Andalyn, my youngest granddaughter, was the first ride out of the garage in it, so she really liked that.
That's fun. Now, is this the first car that you've built? Have there been others?
Well, first one hand-built, but I built a 73 Nova years ago, and I built a Rambler years ago. And I got a 73 Nova sitting in the garage at home that's 8 years in the making, and it goes now that this one's on the road, so that's the next project.
Okay, that'll be the next one, so grandkids, get ready.
That's right. 73 SS, here we come. Yeah.
Right. Now, have you always been into older cars? Is that something that was in your family?
Well, yeah, my dad had a little junkyard behind our farm, and my first car actually was a 1954 Plymouth that I drove. $125, and I run her every day.
That's awesome. Do you still have it?
No, I wish, but no.
We hear a lot of those I wishes and talking to classic car guys. If only I kept that one.
Oh yeah, I've had a lot. I worked at a Ford garage for years, so I had a lot of old cars through the years and wheeled them away.
Well, Bill Alicehouse, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to talking with us today.
Thank you very much for taking the time to look at it.
Oh, we love to look at it, don't we? And thank you for joining us for Ohio Classics here on DMG TV2 for Time Warner Cable. I'm Laurel Quillen.
Taking the area by storm, Lightning Signs and Decals specializes in custom signs, banners, and graphics. We are also an authorized distributor for Mossy Oak, Browning, Realtree, and Bone Collector graphics and products, as well as a hunting and fishing license agent. Visit online at lightningsign.com or visit the storefront located at 224 7th Street in New Philadelphia.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars. We're cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet on the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. We are shining stars. Carry on, invincible. We are who we are.
Welcome into Ohio Classics on DMG TV2 here on Time Warner Cable. I'm your host, Laurel Quillen. Joining me today is Sam Tinarello. Very nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And tell us a little bit about this beauty behind us.
Well, it's a 1973 Duster 340. It's got a 410 rear end and headers, and all the original interior is intact. The original paint job was blue, and it's been repainted yellow. And I've been doing. It's a working car project, so I've been doing this and doing that to it. So I just obtained it about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So it's something that I enjoy and look forward to coming to all the car shows.
A little bit of a family project.
Yes, it is. Yep. My nephew works for Cua's refinishing, and he's helped me a lot with the wiring, and he's put some stripes on for me and decals and stuff that I'm sure I could do. But you know what? With his expertise and everything, he's got it down to a science. So he has it right on. So it was good to have him help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need help.
It's in beautiful shape, and I even like your little touches. You have a little troll friend in there, and a little I want to say a mini-me, a little tiny car.
Yeah, it's a little duster. It's the same color, and the troll's hair is yellow too. So.
Well, it looks great. How did you get into cars?
Well, I had a brand new '71 Duster 340, and I sold it and traded in on a brand new '74 Grand Prix. And I've been singing the blues ever since, getting rid of it, like a lot of guys do.
Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to those regrets. Oh, if only I had kept that.
Yes. So this one was for sale, and I jumped at the chance. I put $500 down to hold it because everybody was calling about it and stopping and seeing it. So I kind of had to act fast to obtain it.
Yeah, and you said it wasn't the year you wanted. It wasn't 71. But
No, it's a 73, but it's close enough because most of the people that have bought these cars have took them to the drag strips, and so I'm glad that I was able to, maintain it and restore it.
So were your, I want to say ancestors, your dad, grandfather into cars at all, or are you kind of the first one to bring this into the family?
My brother Fred, he's into cars, and my nephew Joe, they all Pontiacs. And when I bought my '70 Duster, my dad kept saying, "Oh, you're going to have nothing but trouble with it, because it's not a Pontiac." So I kind of upset him a little bit, but after I purchased it, it was okay,
You proved him wrong.
Yeah. My brother's been collecting cars for years, and so now that I was able to, I retired, so now I'm bringing it back. All three of us usually come to the car shows together.
So how about the little ones, the kids and the grandkids? Have they expressed an interest at all?
A little bit. They're probably wondering who's going to get the car if, something ever happens to me. But
a fight over the will.
Yeah. I've let some of my in-laws drive it before and everything, but it's pretty fast. But I don't race it. I just take it to car shows.
Trying to convert them into Duster fans. Huh?
Yeah, I'll try. We'll see what happens. It probably won't happen, but they're pretty big Pontiac fans, so that's okay though.
But still, even when we have a favorite car, we can still look at other cars and appreciate the work that goes into it and the fact that they're still on the road.
Yes, I like to watch Velocity at home on TV. And of course, Channel 2. I watch The Garden
Thank
Girl
you.
and other different shows, which my flowers are doing pretty good.
Good.
So
Heather does a good job.
Yes, she does. She does a great job. So my geraniums are still living, so she must be doing. She's doing a good job.
Very good. Well, we thank you for watching TV2, and we thank you for being part of the show, Sam.
Okay, thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for joining us here on Ohio Classics on DMG TV2.
Just wanting to be a police officer, I knew this was a great start, and it turned out to be a fantastic one.
Just be able to actually see what you're doing, what you're working on, and understand how you can take one thing and turn it into something else.
We got to creatively use skills and academics and see how we can place them into our fields.
It was pretty much I had the key to open the door, and that was from Buckeye.
Hi, this is Heather, the Garden Girl, and I am so excited to be able to announce to you guys, the viewers, that I have now opened the Garden Girl shop. Well, where are you going to find me at? It's real easy. I'm located at 1881 7 Mile Drive, tucked in behind the Point Cafe. So come visit me Wednesday through Fridays from 10 to 6, Saturdays from 10 to 4, Sundays from 11 to 3. However, if you see the big garage door up, that means I'm here and you are always more than welcome to stop in. Also, don't forget my priority is educating you guys, so stay tuned for all my make and take workshops where you can come in, learn, get your hands dirty, and head home with your very own projects. Can't wait to see you.
Thanks for joining us today on Ohio Classics. I'm your host, Laurel Quillen, and joining me at the Strasburg Cornfest Car Show is Gordon Snyder. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's nice to meet someone who really does some of this hands-on creative work. I really admire it. Tell us about this vehicle.
Well, it's a 37 Dodge, which is kind of unique in itself. Saved it from the scrapyard, took it home in pieces, put it back together with whatever I could figure out and have, and there it is. So it's got a monster engine in it, a lot of fun to drive. Been driving it all over, so good times.
It's definitely an eye catcher, that's for sure. Now, what are some of the special things you've done to it? I noticed you have a chain across the front for the bumper.
Yeah, chain bumpers, like I said, a big engine. The finish on it is something I created. It's kind of a secret thing.
Okay.
If anybody wants it done, I can do it. So.
Okay, we won't ask you to give away any trade secrets, though.
But other than that, just whatever I could find, old saddlebag straps to put the hood down in the trunk. Of course, the exhaust is kind of unique. Walked into Napa and told them I needed 18 elbows, and they were like, well, "What are you doing?" So,
whatever I want, dagnabbit.
There's no rules, and I'm not good at following rules anyway. So that's what you wind up.
Make
with.
your own.
Yeah. All right. My son and I build these. We've got 7 of them. They're all different. They're all different makes and models. We've done a few Mad Max shoots with them, things like that. So
this isn't the first creation that came out of the garage?
No.
Hopefully won't be the last.
No, it's not. I've got a 41 Business Coupe Ford I'm turning into a teardrop camper to pull behind this one. So,
neat.
Yeah, with all the modern conveniences, but it looked like it shouldn't even go down the road. So That's the uglier the better. That's the way we look at it. Yep.
That's the Rat Rod motto, isn't it?
Yeah. If it's new, we ugly it up anyways. So.
Now, what got you into cars?
I was a mechanic for 20-some years in Dodge.
That's a good start.
Been playing with them forever. I got out of the business and started doing the handyman thing, and this fits right in with that too. So whatever works. And
it's a good match, a marriage of two worlds.
Yeah. I was doing this stuff way before it was cool, and that's kind of nice too, you know.
And you passed it on to your son.
Yeah, I did. He's even worse than I am. He's bigger, bit crazier, badder, or whatever you want to call it. So a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Well, Gordon, thank you so much for showing us your vehicle today at the Strasburg Cornfest.
No problem. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to meet you. And thank you for joining us today here on Ohio Classics. I'm Laurel Quillen. Find us on Facebook.
Taking the area by storm, Lightning Signs and Decals specializes in custom signs, banners, and graphics. We are also an authorized distributor for Mossy Oak, Browning, Realtree, and Bone Collector graphics and products, as well as a hunting and fishing license agent. Visit online at lightningsign.com or visit the storefront located at 224 7th Street in New Philadelphia.
Well, I woke up to the sound of silence and cars. We're cutting like knives in a fist fight. And I found you with a tear in your eye, your head in the curtains and heart like the 4th of July.
You swore and said, we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground.
I'm Laurel Quillen for Ohio Classics on DMG TV2. Thanks for joining us today. We're at the Strasburg Corn Fest, and I am standing here with Earl Feller, who is, and always has been, kind of a trucker.
Right. I've been at it all my life. Was raised with them.
Just you or your dad too?
My dad and brother was all in the trucking business.
And you're still into trucks, I see. You have some old beauties here. Tell us about them.
Well, I've sort of retired from the big trucking, and I got this for my hobby, and these are my kids. So
I'm sorry.
I just acquired these two trucks this year, so.
Okay. What year makes?
The green truck is a 1947 KB11 International. It comes from Roswell, New Mexico. And the fire truck is a 1966 International V8, and it comes from Marshfield, Missouri.
Oh my. So since you haven't had these very long, I imagine you haven't done a great deal of restoration work. They came to you in pretty good shape.
They came just like you see them.
Okay.
And I'm proud of that because I got some other old trucks, but I probably wouldn't live long enough to get them put together.
Have you been in the position yet where you needed to find parts for either of these?
Not these here yet, but I have some parts in my collection at home.
Because I was wondering what it would be like to try to find parts for these, if they're readily available or if there's something you really have to comb through, graveyards for.
Yeah, you can find some parts on the internet, Craigslist, and other people that do this to have something maybe you need.
Now, I know you got trucking from your dad. You kind of born into that interest. Did he have classic cars and older cars? Do you remember?
No, he just had trucks that we'd use. So.
And these look usable.
Yeah, but they sort of outdated to ride down the road and wouldn't go fast enough.
Right. Well, I know what a fire truck does. The green truck, what's its function originally?
It pulled a trailer and hauled freight or steel or whatever kind of trailer you put behind it.
Did you drive it back from Roswell, or is that something you put on a bed? Yeah.
I hauled it back on a trailer.
Well, it's handy when you have trucks at your disposal. You can do things like that, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I wouldn't chance running it that far in 40 mile an hour.
Right.
In a rough ride.
Yeah, it definitely would be a very long ride indeed. Well, I thank you very much for letting us talk to you today here at the Strasburg Corn Fest.
And I've been enjoying it here. This is the first show that I've really been out to with my truck. So.
Well, I'm glad we got to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Earl, and thank you for joining us today here on Ohio Classics as we have some fun over at the Strasburg Corn Fest.
Hi, this is Heather, the Garden Girl, and I am so excited to be able to announce to you guys, the viewers, that I have now opened the Garden Girl shop. Well, where are you going to find me at? It's real easy. I'm located at 1881 7 Mile Drive, tucked in behind the Point Cafe. So come visit me Wednesday through Fridays from 10 to 6, Saturdays from 10 to 4, Sundays from 11 to 3. However, if you see the big garage door up, that means I'm here and you are always more than welcome to stop in. Also, don't forget my priority is educating you guys, so stay tuned for all my make and take workshops where you can come in, learn, get your hands dirty, and head home with your very own projects. Can't wait to see you.
Hi, welcome into Ohio Classics. I'm Laurel Quillen, and we're having some fun today at the Strasburg Corn Fest. And lo and behold, who did I run into? But
Yeah, Randy Johnson II.
And The General Lee. Tell us about it.
That's a car I purchased just a few years ago. Actually, my father bought the Ranchero down in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and the owner showed up in this car, and I asked him if he'd sell it. He said no. He usually kept on to him for a while, but about a year later it came for sale up on the market, and we went down and I picked it up.
How about that? Yeah, I think it's a lot of people's dream cars. They might agree with you there.
Yes, it is.
So I'm sorry, what year is it?
It's 1969.
It is.
Yes.
So it's a real.
It's a true 69 Charger. Yes.
That's beautiful. Now, so it was a General Lee when you got it.
Yes, I purchased it.
This way.
Yeah, I purchased it just like this, and plan to actually get it restored and get it looking a little bit better and more power underneath the hood, eventually.
So what's it like finding parts for the General Lee?
Expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, mo power, mo parts.
Okay.
That's what they usually what they go by.
That definitely works. Yeah. Were you always into cars? I'm guessing it's kind of a family thing since your dad has the Ranchero.
Yes, we grew up, and Dad had a couple project cars that. Well, he started with the '55 Ford, and it was all original. And then we did car shows with that. And then for a while we stayed away from cars and
took a break.
Yeah, took a break, and we got back into it. And then I got involved in racing, was working on the pit crew for a while, but now we're back to doing this and doing car shows.
So did you have another classic car before this, or this was the one that set off the beacon and you said, this is it?
This is the one I wanted. Now, my mom, she's got a Firebird that we're still restoring for her, and it kind of got me to work on old cars. It's nice to see them get the older cars back on the road. All the new cars, you can't tell what they look like anymore.
Right. So I bet you get a lot of offers for people asking, would you sell it?
Yes, I do.
So would you sell it?
Price is right.
If there were enough zeros there.
Yeah, but I think I'll keep it and pass it down to my kids eventually.
Oh.
So.
What a fantastic legacy, because as we were talking earlier, I was saying for, I guess, our generation, this is the car. One of the cars, anyway.
Yeah, it's one of the cars, yeah. One that a lot of people recognize, and they also think it's their dream car to have.
Right.
So.
Well, we thank you so much for sharing it with us today, Randy. I really appreciate it.
No problem. You guys have a good evening.
You too. And thank you for joining us here at the Strasburg Corn Fest on Ohio Classics for DMG TV2. I'm Laurel Quillen.